I wanted to conclude just by talking a little bit about our facilities, our physical facilities, and what's on the horizon right now. You, I'm sure, are well aware that at 1764 Oxford Street, which is just 4 buildings to the east of our London campus on the north side of Oxford, there's a big construction going on there. That's going to become part of our campus. It's the our Center for Transportation Trades Technology. Probably has an official name.
Center for Applied Transportation Technologies.
Ah, see, I do. Center for Applied Transportation Technology. This note says CAT. We have these great acronyms. So Center for Applied Transportation Trades Technology. No, Center for Transportation Technology. Anyway, it's really shaping up nicely if you drive by. It's kind of like a D1060 reverse. It was the oldest, scuzziest, dirtiest, raunchiest building known to humanity. And it's going to be absolutely amazing when it's done. And here's the interesting part. It's all going to be done and ready and occupied by March 31st, 2011. So right smack in the middle of the winter. Why are we, this is not normal. Normally we do things and build buildings and then we occupy them leisurely in the summertime and then they're ready to roll in September. Who came up with this stupid plan? Well, the fact is it isn't a stupid plan, we're having to respond to government. And the money for this, you may recall, comes from the government stimulus money. Monies that both federal and provincial governments spent to help put an end to the recession. And they had some rules. And one of the rules was, at midnight on March 31st, 2011, they're going to shut the tap off. And not another cent will be spent on anything that's being built after that date. And so, about every second day, I ask Gary, how's it coming? And so far, he keeps saying, no problem, it'll be ready. I didn't realize, though, it has to actually be occupied. So people are actually going to have to move our transportation trades faculty and support staff and everything else. Well, the reasons for that, I guess, is that if they do move, by then we can charge all the moving expenses to this budget. But the tap shuts off on March 31st, so we're going to move. But I think it does fit the apprenticeship cycle. There's an apprenticeship intake in April, so it isn't. And I think about 80% of all the activity happening in that building is apprenticeship training, and so it isn't as stupid a time of the year as it might appear on the surface to actually be ready to roll with a new facility in April. The other interesting thing, so that's on the very near horizon. On a little farther horizon, and our next priority at this campus, you may have read a bit about it in the newspaper, is a downtown London campus. Some of you may know that we operate a theater performance program in City Plaza. And in addition, Continuing Ed operates some academic activity in there, and employment services. Is that?
What in Ontario?
Employment Ontario. EO. Had to be EO. Operates a service there, and that's leased space. We leased that about 6 years ago, at a time when City Plaza was almost empty, and rental rates were dirt cheap. This is a bargain. This is great, and there's room to expand. It's marvelous. And suddenly, there isn't any room left to expand. And we can see when this lease expires in about 4 years, 3 to 4 years, our rental rates are going to double or triple because it's relatively full. So that's not such a desirable place. And the reason, I mean, the big reason is we want to expand. We have 2 other theater programs in technical theater and costume design that we can't run. They're all approved, everything's done, ready to go, and we don't have any facility for it. and they need to be in the same place as the performance program. Those three all have to be together. In addition, there are some other opportunities you may have read recently about with digital gaming. There's a proposal in front of the federal government right now, and we were there last week. We, not being me, but along with Western and some of the private sector companies here in London that do digital gaming, to have London designated as a digital gaming center of excellence. And that would bring a big chunk of funding. And I've spoken with the president of one of the most significant companies that offers digital gaming, Digital Extremes, is it? That's what they call themselves. I don't know about the games, but anyway, Digital Extremes hire a huge number of Fanshawe graduates, and they want to be located in, around, or near, preferably even in a college facility, and they're desperate to know where we would like to have a facility in downtown London, and they want to be right there. And maybe we can offer some digital programming there as well. So the thing that's really neat about this opportunity is the City of London has already committed that they will help fund it. They'll provide at least $10 million and possibly up to 20, although it's complicated about the second 10, and without getting into a long story, I'm kind of imagining that.
And no long stories. No long stories. No long stories.
Oh, okay. I'm kidding. So anyway, I won't talk about that other 10. Forget it. I might not be there. But one that seems to me too, and there are other things like to have this hotel there too. But so it's all very exciting. So that would be. I'd really love to see that come to happen. And we've got about a 3 to 4 year time horizon. So what we're doing right now is trying to find the best place, the best spot, and then prepare up a package for the provincial government where we go and say, we have an offer for you, you just can't refuse. Number one, we're full. Number two, we have to grow for the local economy. So you're going to have to build us a building. Might as well face it. Get over it. But if you fund this building, the City of London will kick in at least $10 million. And you get your building for a third the cost. Or maybe not that much. Anyway, so how could they turn that down? It's inconceivable. Anyway.